Welcome, Legionnaires, to the Crackdown review. Soon, Crackdown 3 will come out, and it will be an Xbox exclusive, and it will be on the Game Pass. So if you have the Xbox Game Pass and you feel like playing Crackdown 3, because who doesn't, this game will give you an outline of what came before this great game that is to bestow upon us in the Game Pass. Once again, it's like $10 a month. I know I'm kind of endorsing it here, but I might as well. Remember, Legion, together we are strong. Make it through this video, and I promise you and me have something special. Together we stand strong, and we shall take this valiant cross by storm. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Crackdown review. So today we're going to be breaking down the game Crackdown in all its glory. The Crackdown is a shooter developed a long time ago from Xbox 360, and basically you are like a superhuman cop that can just leap tall buildings and like throw cars and stuff like that. And there's like an RPG element to it that has 4 different categories which your super soldier can have his expertise in. And the city is gorgeous. It's huge. It looks as big as it looks on the screen, and it's just a wonderful place. I mean, there's a lot of climbing, a lot of crime, and the story really sucks. I mean, it's just like, okay, there's 3 corporations and you have to kill them, and they are some Los Muertos, which are the dead, which are the Mexican mobsters. You know, there's the Volk, which are basically the Russians, and there are the Shy Gen, which are supposed to be like rich Asian people, I guess. I don't know. Everyone has really terrible accents. So the driving mechanics in the game are really fun. I mean, you go on all these cars, and there's specialty company cars that you can get from the base that you spawn at, that all do certain things. Like one rolls over people, one like slides cars over top of it, and there's a semi that plows through stuff. And the races are a lot of fun. I mean, the races are the best part of this game, but that's because probably for me, I'm a huge racing fan, and a lot of people aren't going to like the driving, I guess. Your guy can be leveled up in strength, like I said, and he can just screw people up. I mean, he can lift huge boxes. He can throw other gangsters into other gangsters. Pretty much any object you can just roundhouse kick and throw people, and it's ridiculous, like how powerful this guy is. He can lift cars eventually. So eventually what's going to happen if you level up your strength skill enough, he's going to be able to, like, people drive up, be like, thinking they're going to beat you up, and then you just pick up their car and throw it in the ocean, and they die. Because there's no way to counter that. There's free roaming missions, not as many as you would like, or as I would like. Most of it involves racing. A lot of the game is just collecting orbs to update your skill, your agility. But I personally think that the racing is the best part. The cars are just fun, and they all play music licensed that I'm pretty sure I cannot play, so I'm not going to be playing a lot of music in this review. The rooftops are filled with green orbs, and these orbs with questions on them. So the green orbs are specifically for agility, and they'll let you jump pretty much like 50 feet in the air. I mean, there's a point where you will level up your character so much he will be able to jump from building to building with no damage. And that's a big part of the game. The agility orbs are something you're going to connect. I think you need about 350 of them to really get maxed out, and like your guy is set. At that point, he's like Spider-Man, basically. He can jump from building to building, climb up giant buildings, and he does latch on to edges very quickly. Even better than Assassin's Creed. I mean, you can jump on pretty much nothing. There's not a lot of barriers in the game. Everything you see in the game, you can pretty much get to, including the water, including the huge agency tower you spawn in. There's actually an achievement for, specifically, that feat is climbing to the agency tower, the top of the agency tower. And it's a very challenging aspect of the game. But the agility orbs are something that's like almost addictive to collect. It feels like the stars from Mario. You know, you just want to get them all so you can make your guy really OP, and he will get OP. As for the driving mechanics, leveling up your driving skill doesn't do a whole lot. I mean, sure, it makes your cars handle better, but you could just drive cars that don't handle awful, which there's a lot of. I mean, they're mostly just the pickup trucks in this clip here, and then the sports cars. I mean, most of the cars feel pretty good. Really, the only reason that you would need to level up your all five, I'm sorry, your driving to max is just to run over people easier. And I know that's ridiculous, but running gangsters over with your car, specifically the SUV, the just big lanky thing the agency gives you, will level up your driving faster than anything. I mean, you just plow a bunch of gangsters over, you'll get to like a 4-star rating in no time. But that's the funniest part, is that the agency vehicles are so overpowered, and you can just drive over people, and they have such armor that a lot of gangsters can't even penetrate it. The only way to really destroy it is with a rocket launcher. Again, with weapons, so you level up your weapon skill a lot, and there is time in between. You press the left trigger to lock onto someone, and you have a time period where you lock onto them, specifically their head. Now, if you don't want to wait for this, you can just spam as close as you can. There are bosses to each cartel, and each cartel has these lieutenants. And every time that you kill one of these lieutenants, it plays a little cutscene, it describes what's going on. But they're just regular dudes, basically. There's not a whole lot of special attributes to them. They say weird stuff and tell you to die and stuff like that, and that's pretty much it. I mean, as a high-up agent, as I played in later in the game, I was able to just kick people to death easily, or just shoot them in the head easily. And what you can do to stun them is just set them on fire with an explosive, and then just melee them. I mean, they're just regular people, which gives the game not a real challenge. A lot of it is just loading up your character and make him as ridiculous as possible. There is some slowdown in the game, specifically when like 50 explosions go off, but it's nothing that hinders the experience. Your guy moves so fast at max agility, and just in general, he moves so fast. If you look at the dossiers for the gangs, it will show them where they're at, but a lot of times you just have to explore the environment to find them. But the game is fun in the way that you can just drive around and shoot people if you want. The peacemakers do retaliate if you kill civilians, but your guy can like jump over entire buildings and throw buses. So if you do kill too many civilians, expect to just run away or just shoot a few of them, and they get over it, because your guy can just pick their vehicles up and throw them in the water. There's also things called supply points, which you'll need to climb buildings for. And they are also kind of out of the way. And what the supply points do is refill your ammo. So any weapon that you find on the ground near wherever you are, you're able to teleport it. Basically, you just pick it up and you bring it to your waypoint that you have. They're called supply points. And basically, at the supply point, you're able to like take all those guns and all that ammo and refill yourself. Pretty much everything. Explosives, switch to any weapon you found. The agency weapons are the best weapons. The only other weapon to pick up, and you can pick up the pistols and rifles if you want, but they're all pretty awful. They don't do good damage, and most of them just straight up suck. I mean, there's no reason to pick them up. But the only weapons to pick up are the Firefly, which is a rocket launcher that's heat-seeking, and the LMG. And I think there's 2 LMGs, but one holds like 300 rounds. So when preparing for any quote boss fight, you're going to want to use that light machine gun, some grenades, and that rocket launcher. And those 2 weapons will pretty much overpower anyone in the game. Even if you decide to maybe pull like a suicide run and go ahead and take him on as a 1-star agent, which I don't recommend, you might actually pull it off. The issue with not leveling your strength up is that you can't throw cars. You can still throw people. And you take a heck of a lot less damage before you die. And also falling off buildings does more damage to you. So the core components are agility and strength. Explosives and shooting, you need it, I guess. But like if you get strength up, when someone attacks you, you can just straight up just run up to them and start roundhousing them in the face. And the enemy is melee, but it does like no damage. It does like 2 or 3% damage. Like if you're meleeing somebody and they're meleeing you, I mean, you're going to win every time, even on 1 star. And then later, you're going to roundhouse them and then pick them up and throw them at other people. Your guy's just really OP. The environments are really cool, but you can't really interact with someone. Anyone, really, besides just shooting them. The civilians will not say anything to you. They're, like, pretending like this guy that's jumping over entire buildings and flipping cars with his bare hands doesn't exist. Even when they're getting shot at, they don't say thank you when I come rescue them. The cops mostly ignore you. They say, hey, what's up? But beyond that, they don't interact with you. No one talks to you. There's all these cool environments and all these buildings and districts that are so different. I mean, the Shaigen's really industrial. You know, the Los Muertos is like, there's like strip clubs and like malls and bars and stuff, and the Volk is pretty ugly, actually. It's just a bunch of tenement buildings. I guess that's what they think Russian mobsters hang out, just tenement buildings and warehouses. But you can't interact with the environments at all. I mean, you go in buildings, and the environments inside the building, they're so ugly. The outside is beautiful. The inside is like one room with like a chair in it. And these are like millionaires, so why don't they have any decorations in their house? I mean, no one has any decorations. Why? So, to top this review off, it's a great free roaming game. Crackdown 3, I have high expectations for it. I really want it to work. This game is really worth a play. If you can find it, it's really rare. GameStop doesn't normally have copies of it. It's hard to find, but it's very good. It's very fun, and despite the terrible story, I'd probably get it like a 7 out of 10 because it's just so fun. But anyways, that's my review for Crackdown. Nice talking to you guys. See you later. Alright, thanks for watching the Crackdown review. This took me a really long time to make because it's an Xbox 360 game. There's like a little more than 10 or 11 care I have to do to produce it. I appreciate it all. I do all these videos kind of like they're not like scripted or anything. So everything I'm saying, I'm just like going as I go along. So like when I say or like stop in between sentences, it's just because I'm taking a long time to make it. And I just got to get it right. It takes like 6, 7 times sometimes for taking it right. So I appreciate it a lot. Next game we got coming up, I think I'm going to do Mercenaries for Xbox. I'm really excited about that. But thank you for getting through to me and watching it. This is really fun. It's one of my favorite 360 games of all time. So I'll catch you guys later on the next Seouless review.